I'm going to preface this by saying I'm 51F a recovering addict, and I've been clean for a little over 3 years now. It's relevant. Shortly after I got home from treatment in 2023, I got on Google Maps to look something up. It was on my husband's 51M computer. Keep in mind I live with 2 of my grown sons and my husband, and every person has their own computer. Nobody uses anybody else's. His computer was logged into his Google, and when I used the pull-down menu it showed a bunch of hotel lookups. He does travel for work and occasionally stays out, but only if it's 2.5 hours or more away from our home. These hotels were 15 minutes to an hour away. One was a motel that you rent by the hour, one was a bed and breakfast, and the other was just a Super 8 or something about a half an hour from us. On Google Maps you can see if the place was ever visited, and you can click on timeline to find out when. I did that and saw that he didn't just look them up and he had visited these places. I wrote down the dates in a notebook and I started looking through his timeline to see where else he had been that I was unaware of. He had visited a few homes, so I wrote down those addresses and dates and I saved a lot of screenshots. We had obviously fought a lot because of my addiction, and I know it had to have been hard on him when I went through treatment and he had to take care of everything by himself. With that in mind, I sat at the computer calmly, well, as calm as I could be anyway, and thought about it long and hard. I thought maybe he had been so lonely that he needed somebody else to comfort him. I'm not making excuses for him because there are none, but maybe looking for a reason. Anyway, I finally got up and came in the other room to talk to him. I was calm and collected as I could be, and I asked him about it. Why did you have these hotels on your Google Maps that say you visited them when you were so close to home, in particular the pay-by-the-hour motel? He lost his mind, got up and started screaming in my face within a millimeter of my face, telling me I was crazy. He didn't do it, he doesn't know who did it, but it wasn't him visiting these places or looking them up at all. He said, after all I've done for you, after all I've put up with from you, how dare you question my integrity? It's the only thing I have left. He had me crying and feeling like I was stupid and mistaken, and I was begging his forgiveness after about an hour of this. I had never known what gaslighting was before this. Now I know, and I see exactly what he was doing. We've been together for 26 years and he always told me he was loyal as a bulldog. I guess if you have to tell somebody all the time how loyal you are, then maybe you're not so much. Anyway, I knew he was full of crap. I wish I had just kept my mouth shut at that point and just gathered all the evidence I could, but my dumb ass thought that he and I would talk about it, maybe cry about it, maybe get mad about it, and eventually just deal with it. But no, the gaslighting began immediately. I started going through the computer, then not just Google Maps but mail, websites visited, etc. I had never been a nosy person before this. I hate myself even now because that's not ever who I thought I would be, but I was into everything. I had my hand in every single little pie. The next day he deleted his Google timeline so that I couldn't check anything anymore, which is a sure sign of guilt in my mind, because if you hadn't done anything, then why did you erase it? I was going through his phone gathering numbers, looking on his Facebook. I'm not proud of myself for this, but he wouldn't talk about it, so I was going to gather evidence. My life feels like a Jerry Springer episode, no joke. I feel so low, so unwanted, undesirable, unlovable. I'm sorry this is so long, but he has done so much you guys would think I was making this up or it was a Lifetime movie or something. I'll get to the part where I found out that one of his escapades was with our oldest child best friend. I logged into his Facebook one day and realized the only person he was following was my kid's best friend. I'll call her Alexis 32F because that's her name. I looked at her Facebook the next day from my own name and realized she had some of her content blocked for me, like her pictures and stuff. I said something to my kid and they said something to her about it, and all of a sudden I was unblocked. It was just weird. I saw her kids and her youngest one, a boy, looks just like my husband. My husband is a redhead, she is not, nor is her significant other. It's not just the red hair, it's all of the features and stuff like that. So I immediately think, wow, he's got a kid with her. I still believe that to this day because of other things that have happened since then. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention is one of my ex-best friends is this girl's mother. I had been friends with her since I was 14 years old and our kids grew up together. I forgot to mention that because that's where the grossness comes in. We have watched this girl grow up. It's not only disgusting to me that she's 19 years his junior, but we watched her as a child. She spent nights in our home, ate at our table. I treated her like one of my children. I confronted him about this and all I got from it was another screaming session, him telling me that I was just a druggie and he told me to go die on a street corner and do them all a favor. He said again that all he had with his integrity and that I was trying to take that away from him, yada yada. It was horrible, he was awful, and I got divorce papers that I was going to serve him with, but I never did because I was in love with him and I've been with him so long I don't know how to do this on my own. I'm scared is what it amounts to. I know I'm right, I have all the evidence, there's so much more to this, but I know it's getting very lengthy. If I kept the stories going I'd be here for days. Let's just say that the addresses that I had written down before he deleted his Google timeline were this girl's addresses. 3 of them were that I found linked to her through a people search, so yeah, he had been to her house and that these hotels. I tried confronting him one last time and that one just ended in a disaster, a story for another time I guess. I'm just sad, tired, so goddamn tired, and yes, I'm still here. It's been 1.5 years since our last confrontation and I just keep my mouth shut. As long as I do that he's fine. He does come home. He does pay bills. He, on the surface, seems to do everything right. But I know better, I have other evidence and other stories, but just suffice it to know, I know. I don't know why I'm still here, I don't know why I haven't been able to just leave, I don't know why I am letting somebody who is supposed to be my protector, my best friend, treat me this way. I'm in therapy and it doesn't seem to help because I continue to stay and let it continue to happen. I guess I just wanted to vent because he's always been the nice guy and nobody seems to be able to believe that he could act this way. Thanks for letting me vent. Maybe letting some of this out let me remain sane for another couple days because sitting on it and stewing about it just makes me feel awful all the time.